In Ghana, a country long associated with gold, a viral video recently caught the world's attention. In the clip, a group of young men, some barely out of their teens, are seen digging with little more than shovels and sheer determination. Suddenly, they unearth a massive, gleaming rock from the soil. Their reactions are pure and overwhelming: disbelief, hope, and a flash of uncontainable joy. That single rock might be a multi-million-dollar discovery or perhaps nothing but worthless glitter. Experts remain divided on whether the chunk is genuine gold or merely fool's gold like pyrite. But in a way, the truth doesn't matter. That shimmering stone symbolizes more than wealth. It represents a dream of transformation, the kind of fortune that could build schools, fix roads, and uplift entire communities from poverty. But this story is not about luck or fairy tale endings. It's about a broken system, one that keeps Africa rich in resources, but poor in outcomes. This rock points to a deeper global imbalance, where wealth extracted from African soil often ends up enriching foreign vaults rather than the people who dig it out. The reality is not hidden behind secret societies, but openly sustained by powerful interests. It's a clear example of how everyday items like your smartphone or wedding ring are connected to a global system that extracts riches from Africa while leaving the continent behind. And it all begins with what this rock represents: the beginning of a shadowy journey that exposes a web of exploitation. The raw footage of these miners, covered in dust and mud, trying to lift the enormous rock, is both heartwarming and heartbreaking. As they wash it and it glistens, they erupt in celebration. For a fleeting moment, they feel like royalty. But behind that celebration lies a harsh truth. These miners are known locally as Galamsey, unlicensed, informal miners who operate outside the legal mining system. Whether their discovery was real or not, the video shed light on the dark, dangerous world of illegal artisanal mining in Ghana. Ghana, one of the world's top gold producers, has two very different mining worlds. One is the official side, dominated by large multinational corporations like Nugget from the US or other firms from Canada and South Africa. These companies operate massive open-pit mines using heavy machinery and advanced technologies. They are licensed, regulated, and pay royalties to the government. But even in this legal setup, the local benefits are minimal. Despite billions extracted from Ghanaian soil, the state often receives just a small share, sometimes as little as 10%, while most of the profits leave the country. Then there's the parallel universe, the world of small-scale or artisanal mining, known as ASGM legally. The sector was meant to empower local Ghanaians by giving them access to their country's natural resources. Over 1 million people are employed directly in this sector, with millions more depending on it indirectly. But it's estimated that around 85% of these miners operate informally and often illegally. Galamsey is a local adaptation of gather and sell, a name that captures the desperation and hustle of the work. With unemployment so high, many young Ghanaians see it as their only hope. They dig in unstable pits that collapse without warning. And when they strike gold, a complex, illegal network takes over, ensuring that the newfound wealth disappears without trace. Avoiding taxes and accountability. When a real nugget is found, it doesn't get declared or recorded officially. Instead, it enters a vast underground economy. The gold is sold to local buyers with cash, no questions asked. From there, it's smuggled across borders into neighboring countries like Togo or Burkina Faso, where enforcement is weaker. Eventually, it ends up in the United Arab Emirates, mainly Dubai, which has become the central hub of illicit African gold. According to a Swiss NGO report, between 2019 and 2023, there was a staggering gap of 229 metric tons between Ghana's reported gold exports and the amount imported by other nations. That missing gold is worth more than $11.4 billion, enough to transform Ghana's economy. The system that allows this to happen is shockingly simple. Couriers can carry undeclared gold in hand luggage directly into Dubai, bypassing detection. There, the gold gets refined, repackaged, and reintroduced into the global market with no visible trace of its illegal origins. This network isn't just tax evasion, it's a financial tool for organized crime and extremist groups. enabling them to launder money through a seemingly legitimate commodity. The illegal mining industry has also been supercharged by foreign actors, particularly from China, who provide machinery like excavators and mobile washing systems, increasing gold extraction, but also intensifying environmental destruction. The stolen gold trail begins in Ghana's Red Earth and ends in Bank vaults thousands of miles away. It never appears in Ghana's national budget or helps build hospitals or schools. It gets laundered in Dubai or melted down in Swiss refineries. Detached from its toxic and bloody beginnings, the missing $11 billion is more than a number. It's the value of a stolen future. But the most devastating cost is paid daily by ordinary Ghanaians and the land itself. The environmental toll is catastrophic. To extract even tiny particles of gold, Galamsey miners use mercury and cyanide, cheap but deadly substances. Without protective gear, they mix mercury by hand and then burn it, releasing toxic vapors that poison their bodies and pollute the air. The leftover chemicals flow into rivers, destroying aquatic life. Over 60% of Ghana's water bodies are now polluted. Their waters turn brown and lifeless. Rivers that once nourished entire communities are now toxic wastelands. The National Water Regulator has even warned that, if this continues, Ghana may need to start importing clean water by 2030. The cruel irony is painful. A country with abundant natural wealth is on the brink of a clean water crisis. The glitter of gold has blinded the world to the human and ecological destruction left in its wake. What should have been a story of hope and fortune has become a haunting symbol of how global systems extract value while leaving devastation behind. Ghana, a nation blessed with gold, is quietly sacrificing one priceless resource to chase another, its water. While gold continues to be extracted from the earth, the profits rarely stay within its borders. In pursuit of this metal, vast stretches of forests have been cleared, and once thriving cocoa farms, pillars of Ghana's economy, are being erased. Illegal mining has already ravaged 34 of Ghana's protected forest reserves. The land is left wounded, scarred by deep pits that collect stagnant water, creating breeding grounds for malaria and making the soil infertile for generations to come. But beyond the environmental damage lies a far greater tragedy: the human cost. The unlicensed miners, known locally as Galamsey, often work in treacherous conditions. The unstable pits they dig frequently collapse, claiming lives. The desperate allure of quick money pulls young boys out of classrooms and traps girls in dangerous, exploitative environments that form around these mining areas. This isn't just a story of illegal mining. It's a textbook example of what's called the resource curse. Countries blessed with abundant natural resources often end up worse off economically than those without. Sudden flows of wealth distort local economies, breed corruption, and invite opportunists who profit while communities suffer. Instead of uplifting the nation, the resource becomes a source of destruction, polluting rivers, destroying landscapes, and deepening poverty. It would be convenient to blame the Galamsey miners alone, but they are merely the final link in a much longer chain. To understand the true drivers of this crisis, we must zoom out. Ghana's current challenges are rooted in its colonial history. Back when it was called the Gold Coast, a name imposed by outsiders who only saw the land's mineral wealth, the colonial system was straightforward: extract raw materials cheaply, ship them overseas for processing, then sell finished products back to the colonies. Even after independence, the system never truly ended, it simply evolved. Political control was replaced by economic dominance, a reality many refer to today as neo-colonialism. At the heart of this system are powerful actors. The first are multinational mining corporations, who, while operating legally, are often structured in ways that minimize the taxes they pay in countries like Ghana. Through complex financial arrangements, they shift profits out of Africa, leaving behind a fraction of the true value extracted. Then there are foreign entities that secretly fuel the illegal mining trade. These financiers supply advanced machinery and funding, turning a local survival strategy into a massive industrial-scale operation that devastates both land and governance. Their motive is clear: access to cheap, untaxed gold. And finally, there are the international gold refineries and markets. Facilities in places like Switzerland and the UAE process raw gold from a multitude of sources. Despite claims of due diligence, the reality is murky. Once illegal gold is melted down and mixed with other sources, its origins are erased. It becomes indistinguishable, ready to be used in jewelry, electronics, or as investment. That glimmering ring on your finger or the processor in your smartphone may well contain gold that originated from polluted rivers and exploited workers in Ghana. This entire structure functions not because of one villain, but because of shared incentives. Corporations seek maximum profits, smugglers avoid taxes, refineries crave steady supply, consumers want affordable luxury and electronics. Everyone gains from the flow of untraceable, cheap gold except the people of Ghana, who pay the ultimate price. For decades, the story of Ghana's gold has been a story of loss, but that narrative is beginning to shift. Since 2021, Ghana has taken bold steps to reclaim control over its gold sector. The Bank of Ghana began directly purchasing gold from domestic sources to strengthen the country's reserves. Then in early 2025, the government established the Ghana Gold Board, dubbed GoldBot, to centralize the purchase, sale, and export of gold from the small-scale sector. This move aims to shut out smugglers and middlemen who drain the economy. The plan is to formalize the entire trade by providing miners with a fair, legal, and reliable market to sell their gold. Every ounce that passes through GoldBot can now be taxed properly, documented, and contribute directly to the national economy. And the results are already visible. In just the first 5 months of 2025, Ghana reported over $5 billion in official gold exports, an all-time high, hinting that the new system is working. But structural change requires more than just economic policies. To ensure the success of these reforms, the government has launched an enforcement wing. In July 2025, Ghana's president unveiled a multi-agency GoldBot task force made up of police and military personnel. Their mission: crack down on illegal mining, dismantle illicit operations, and hold both local and foreign violators accountable. Unlike previous efforts, this task force is equipped with modern oversight tools. Officers will wear body cameras, and a 10% bounty is being offered to citizens whose information leads to successful seizures of smuggled gold. This multi-front war, economic, legal, and on the ground, is Ghana's bold declaration of economic independence. Of course, major hurdles remain. Smuggling rings are deeply embedded, and corruption still threatens from within. Success will require long-term commitment and international collaboration, especially from countries like the UAE that need to tighten import controls and increase transparency in their gold industries. But for the first time in years, there's a real strategy, a coordinated effort backed by political will to confront the deep-rooted systems of exploitation. It all began with a viral video of a mysterious rock being pulled from the earth. That rock, whether real gold or not, became a symbol of both hope and theft. It shed light on a global network built on poverty, secrecy, and environmental ruin. We traced the likely path of such a rock from a muddy village pit to the gleaming vaults of global finance, passing through the hands of criminals and enablers, each one profiting while Ghana suffers. We saw the wreckage, poisoned rivers, abandoned lands, and stolen futures. Yet, this story doesn't end in hopelessness. With the formation of GoldBot and the Anti-Smuggling Task Force, Ghana is rewriting its future. This is more than policy, it's a movement toward justice and accountability. It's a call for Africa's resources to finally serve its people. The fight isn't over, and success is far from certain. But change begins with awareness. These systems persist because the world turns a blind eye, because most never ask where their gold comes from. By understanding this story, you become more than just an observer. You become part of a growing global consciousness. Spread this message. Help shine a light on the fight for Africa's economic liberation. Support the voices calling for fairness and sovereignty. That one golden rock now stands as a powerful metaphor, a choice. Do we continue enabling a global system that exploits the continent? Or do we stand with those demanding that Africa's wealth be used to build its own future?